Hello everyone, myself I am Lakshmi Prasanna Ballamkonda from ECE A section from Vasireti Venkatadri Institute of Technology, and my roll number is 20BQ180416. Today I would like to discuss a few words about types of corrosion. So let's go on to the video. We have five types of corrosion. They are galvanic or bimetallic corrosion, pitting or pit corrosion, differential aeration corrosion, and waterline corrosion, stress corrosion. Let's discuss these five types of corrosion one by one. Our first corrosion is galvanic or bimetallic corrosion. It means when two different metals widely separated in electrochemical or galvanic series are come in contact with each other, they establishes a local electrolyte. It means if we take an electrochemical series, there are two metals which are widely separated. When they both come in contact, they establishes themselves a local electrolyte. So the anodic metal is corroded and the cathodic metal is protected. In this, the metal which acts as an anode will be corroded and the cathodic metal will be protected. It means in an electrochemical process in which one metal corrodes preferentially when in electrical contact with different type of metal and both metals are immersed in an electrolyte such as water. See, here is an example. Here is a brass screw and a mild steel nut. They both are in contact. Here anode undergoing corrosion and cathode is protecting. The steel nut will act as an anode, so it will undergo corrosion, and the brass screw will be protected, so it will act as a cathode. They both establishes a galvanic cell in presence of a local moisture. So the reactions that are taking place are at anode. It means it at iron net. Fe is less to Fe plus 2 electrons. It means it undergoing corrosion. Whereas in cathode, it means at copper bolt, Cu plus 2 electrons is less to Cu. It means it is protecting. So the net reaction will become Fe plus Cu plus 2 is less to Fe plus 2 plus Cu. So when coming to prevention of the galvanic corrosion, it means how can we prevent that? Let's see some of the steps to prevent. Couple those metals, they are very closest in the electrochemical series. It means we are taking both metals widely separated. If you take the metals which are very closest in the electrochemical series, then they will not undergo corrosion. And the second one is introduce a dielectric media in between the anodic and cathodic metal. And the third one is anodic surface area is relatively larger than cathodic metal. So let's discuss our next corrosion. Pitting corrosion. Due to manufacturing defects or by accidentally happened scratches or cracks, offer the metallic structures are responsible for this type of corrosion. These scratches or cracks are gradually expanded as a pit due to corrosion. It means nothing but pitting corrosion means if a thing is manufacturing due to defect or by accidentally happening, if there is a scratches on the metal, then that scratch will turn as a corrosion and it will expand. Like this, these scratches are gradually expanded and will become as a pit due to corrosion. Hence it is known as pitting corrosion. Here the scratch or the crack portion acts as anode and the rest of the portion acts as a cathode. So it means pitting corrosion is a localized form of corrosion by which cavities or holes are produced in the material. It means these cavities or holes will be produced by manufacturing defect or by accidentally. Here the pits or cavities acts as anode with the respect to the normal portion. It means the scratch, as I said before, the scratch or crack portion will act as anode. at this position the oxygen levels will be very small, it means less oxygenated, so it will go under the reaction as we will see in the video. Fe is less to Fe plus 2 aqueous plus 2 electrons, and the unscratched or the rest of the surface will act as a cathode, it means more oxygenated. So we will have a equation H2O plus half O2 plus 2 electron is less to 2HO minus. So the net reaction will become Fe plus H2O plus half O2 is less to FeOH taken twice, and this FeOH taken twice will undergo F2 FeOH taken twice plus H2O plus half O2 is less to 2 FeOH taken thrice, and we can write this as Fe2O3 into 3H2O. Fe2O3 into 3H2O is nothing but rust. So let's discuss our next corrosion. Our next corrosion is differential aeration corrosion. It means if a metal rod is dipped in an electrolyte, the portion which is under electrolyte is poorly oxygenated and acts as anode. The portion above electrolyte is more oxygenated and acts as cathode. See, in the picture you can see a zinc rod is dipped in an NaCl solution. The zinc rod which is in the NaCl solution will have a very poorly oxygenated, so it will act as an anode. But the above the zinc and above the NaCl solution is more oxygenated, so it will act as a cathode. The portion under the water acts as an anode and gets corroded. It means the portion in NaCl will get corroded. This corrosion is mainly due to establishment of oxygen concentration cell. The corrosion is due to establishment of oxygen concentration cell. The metal rod which is in NaCl solution will have the reaction Zn is less to Zn plus 2 plus 2 electrons, and the metal above the NaCl solution is more oxygenated, so it will have the reaction half O2 plus H2O plus 2 electron is less to 2HO minus. So our next type of corrosion is waterline corrosion. Waterline corrosion. This is the corrosion type just below the water level may takes place due to establishment of oxygen concentration cell. Waterline corrosion means the corrosion will takes place just below the water level. It means above the water level the oxygen concentration will be more, but in below the water level the oxygen concentration will be less, so that below the water level the corrosion will takes place. But we will get a doubt, what is the difference between differential aeration corrosion and waterline corrosion? In differential aeration corrosion, the metal rod which is placed in solution will get corroded, but in waterline corrosion the corrosion will takes place only just below the water level. This is because the portion just below the water level exposed with poor oxygenated, but the portion which is at below level will have oxygen concentration cell, so it will not get corroded at that point. Only the point just below the water level will get corroded. Like when water is stagnated in a steel tank, the concentration of oxygen above the water surface is greater than the under surface. This generates an oxygen concentration cell. In this cell, the metal just above the water level is cathodic with respect to the metal below the water level. So I will have a diagram to show you the difference between both aeration and waterline corrosion. See, here in the first diagram, that is differential aeration corrosion, and in the second diagram waterline corrosion. The portion which is in the electrolyte in differential aeration corrosion totally will get corroded, but in waterline corrosion just below the water level is get corroded. both the corrosions are due to establishment of oxygen concentration cell only. See, we will see step by step how the waterline corrosion can be turned into a differential corrosion. See, first in the step, the tank is full of water, so it will get only the rod which is just below the water level will get corroded. If the level of the water decreases, the level of the rod corrosion will increases in second and third step, you can see. And in the fourth step, the rod will get totally corroded. It means it turned into the differential aeration corrosion. And our last type of corrosion is stress corrosion. Stress corrosion, structure, it means shape and size. These two factors may influence the stress corrosion. In the metallic structure, the portion which is under stress acts as anode and the rest of the portion acts as cathode. Together may establish a local galvanic cell in presence of moisture as local electrolyte. It means if a metallic structure is undergoing a stress, then that portion will act as an anode and the rest of the portion will act as cathode. In between these two, a local galvanic cell will be produced in presence of moisture as a local electrolyte. The anodic part is corroded and the cathodic part will be protected. See, we have three types of shapes here: bend shape, curved shape, linear shape. In bend shape, we will have more stress and the corrosion will take place at the corners. In curved shape, we will have only minimum stress, so the corrosion will take place at the point of contact. And in linear shape, no corrosion will take place. The stress corrosion influenced by size. The small size objects are rapidly corroded than big size objects due to lesser surface area. See, here we are taking a small size as an anode and the large size as a cathode. The small size object at the point of contact will get corroded. Between small and the big size, it means that anode and cathode, a local galvanic cell will be produced due to local moisture. It is known as intergranular corrosion. Hope you understand the topics of types of corrosions, that are galvanic corrosion, pitting corrosion, diffracted corrosion, waterline corrosion, and the stress corrosion. Thank you for listening my presentation. Thank you so much.